Oh no! It's morning!
And that means it's time for the Rotten Mornings Best way to start your morning off.
Ham.
That's not what the hell?
Blast off!
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rotten Mornings.
It's what?
Welcome.
Blast off.
That's just the name of the podcast and no indication of time.
There you go.
Guys, it is actually Sunday
It is.
at 2:15. 2:15.
It is 2:08.
So this is going to be interesting that we don't have to deal
All
with
you can hear is crinkle, Matt.
Crinkle, crinkle.
I'm Scott.
I'm Matt. Hey, Scott.
I'm Brandy.
I'm Grim.
I'm Cree.
Okie dokie.
And we also have a Jason.
We've got a very,
mute
very
Jason.
excited hockey player with us today.
He's
got
literally
it.
asleep right
Yes,
now. And
yesterday
he just thinks
he
he's
got his
not.
nipples pierced.
You know, good
He's
for
very
him.
happy.
I can't sleep standing up like that.
To drop him off.
So, for those of you in podcast land, we are also currently live on Facebook. So, once you hear this, if you want to keep track of what we're actually doing, you can go back and watch that live.
Well, why you would do that?
Dylan, those burgers were phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
So what we decided to do today for the podcast, we have all come together and we've had just a tremendous season, just
Oh, wow.
absolutely, probably
Busy.
the biggest and busy, earliest
It's
season.
touching me.
It's touching me.
Like really hard.
Season
Matt,
to
I've been-
date.
Audience to show Jason.
So we thought we would go ahead and just kind of do a full breakdown of our 2022 season.
did a
Yeah.
lot.
Let's break down 2022. Fuck
We
you.
did a whole hell of a lot.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I guess the season, the haunt season, really kind of kicked off with CreepyCon.
Well, true.
and
That
that
was
was
at the
our-
end of August.
Yeah, and that was kind of the all right.
Yeah. Let's go.
These are all the people. These are all the players.
Yeah.
Let's do the thing. And if you guys didn't join us at CreepyCon, we had a booth this year.
We
did.
Weirdly
which was kinda
enough.
fantastic, and
Yeah.
just the sheer amount of love that everybody showed us there.
It was amazing. If you haven't gotten a chance, go back and scroll all the way back to beginning of November and go through
Nope.
all the...
It is now currently the middle of November.
Oh,
You mean
September.
go back to the end of August and
Yep.
see our CreepyCon stuff.
Because there were tons of photos of all these amazing people. It was bad as hell.
Could you stop blocking the podcast from the live?
Yeah.
I'm not cock blocking the podcast.
Yeah.
Didn't you
I mean,
like cock blocking
As a matter
on
of fact, I'm being opposite. I'm telling them to eat butt.
Smokey said
That is
two
very
hot dudes and a crazy chick had a blast with a rotten crew.
Yes, they did.
I loved seeing all of you. It was fucking great.
Okay, so how are we going to address
Yes.
this going over? How are we going to do this?
Well, it all started after CreepyCon with Scott going to Halloween Horror Nights.
Yep. That was the first haunt.
September 2nd, I
Yep.
believe.
And you
that was
guys were-
awesome. That was the first argument we had of the season.
the first argument.
Yeah. That was like a good lead into the season. Me and Scott arguing.
What a great way to start off the season.
I don't know about what.
I didn't write down any arguments on this
That's
list,
good.
so it would have been a hell of a lot longer.
Yeah, yes, it would. No, this year we did pretty fucking good. Considering
did.
last
We
year,
did.
Yes.
we
It
were
still would have
really
been
pissed
longer.
at each other.
It
Well,
has gotten better.
We did a great thing where we stayed the fuck away from each other.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. Always good. Yeah, so first parts of September starts, and I hit up Halloween Horror Nights. To me, it wasn't as the same show it was the year before, but it still had a good time, and there were some scare zones that really kind of stood out. There were some houses that kind of stood out. While I was doing that, you guys were helping out some haunts, getting ready for their season. And then I think you guys jumped into the next haunt because I had some some family stuff.
We went to, on September 9th, we went to 13 Stories in Noonan, Georgia.
Which was a super fun.
That was our first time going out there. That was you, me, Grim, and Tommy. Tommy Dan.
Tommy Dan!
He did a great job out there. I was proud of him.
Why are we all looking at him?
Yeah,
Why's
why are
everybody
y'all
looking
looking
at
at
him?
it?
I was looking to see if there was a Tommy
I'm just
Dan
waiting.
back there.
I'm
right?
just waiting for him to decapitate all of us, honestly.
Oh, yes, yes.
Decaffeinated.
Yes, he's. Oh, that's what
He said he dropped his knife.
So sad. There's a teardrop going down the mask right now. I dropped my knife, guys. Mom would be so sad.
Dylan said, "Hey, are your ears gauged to the guy with the cowboy mustache?"
Dude, I cannot tell you the number of people in Nashville who were like, that is the most majestic mustache. You live in Nashville. This should be a way of life. Yes, they're
Meanwhile, he's fucking twisting it like a motherfucker.
That is not a mustache. It is a chipmunk.
I only twist it when I've tied someone to the railroad tracks.
Strongman thing.
Hoop, hoop, hip, up.
Oh, I heard that. All right, so 13 Stories.
Yeah.
Yes, that was 13
Great
Stories.
haunt, great haunt. Had a great experience out there. Their actors were amazing. Their sets, like I didn't expect the amount, the caliber and size that we got out of that place. It was
Yes.
so much fun.
We had a lot of fun there. And then the following weekend, we kicked off the Hellbilly Hollow season with a Hell Night
Yes.
on the 16th and the 17th.
Which was fucking awesome.
A whole lot of
Holy
us
We
got
had
to
fuck.
participate in
Smokey
that.
and Blinky
And Smokey and Blinky and
were
Psycho
here,
Skittles
and-
came to join us.
Yes.
It
I
was
had a fun
wonderful.
time on the pole.
And oh my gosh,
Snappy?
What's his name?
Was Snappy there?
That's finger crackle.
Jordan Hutch.
Yes,
was
Jordan
also
Hutch
there.
is-
Yes,
Yes,
he
yes,
was
yes,
there,
yes.
and he was amazing. Yes.
We had lots of amazing folks with us.
Anthony Smith. He's the guy who made the burgers for us at Mountain Creek.
Yes.
Delicious burgers, my man.
Still good.
TNT burgers, those were awesome, and he had some pork sandwiches
Yeah,
that were
dude.
great. The chili cheese fries were the bomb.
Were they
It was
pork
awesome.
chop sandwiches?
All right, so Hellbilly Hollow for Hell Night, which was phenomenal. And
Yes.
we don't really talk deeply about what happens at Hell Night, but there is an episode of Rotten Strips where I focused in on a few clips from that,
Yeah.
so you can check that out.
Yes.
Yeah, I missed Hell Night this year.
You did.
But I'm glad that y'all got some footage and guys, this is kind of how this works: is that we don't always get to hit the same haunts, or we don't get to hit the same haunts on the same nights. And try as we may, we try to hit some pictures and share that. And we're not just sharing it with each other, like, hey, check out this thing or whatever. We're sharing it with you guys.
Yep.
Guys.
We want you all to see the amazing time we
Yes.
had and to see all the amazing places
We
go
also
to.
started a new thing this year, which I'm going to try to replicate, and that's doing a live going to, arriving at, and leaving from every haunt that we
I
go
noticed
to.
that you started
And
doing
I
that.
started doing it kind of end of the season, around the 15th, and did it for everybody after that. But I'm going to try to, from now on, get those 3 videos every time we go to a haunt.
It helps us kind of organize our thoughts because we suck at that.
Well, I really like it because it says, hey, we're going there and this is our expectations. Right? Hey, we got here. Look,
This is what we've got so far.
Yeah, and then you get those immediate reactions. You get those first hot takes.
Yeah.
And I go back. I try to check all of those
Yeah.
because I had fun. We had a couple of times this year where we had multiple people going live, and we had to synchronize.
We had to synchronize.
Yeah.
You guys, me, Grimm's going live. Tommy Dan's going live.
Yeah, we did a whole lot this season. Urza, nobody cares.
Like, it takes a lot of a communication within this group
Yes.
to accomplish these things.
Yeah,
It
and we
does.
communicate like shit, just like we
we do.
plan.
But it's gotten better. It has gotten much better. Has it not, Matt?
It has
I'm
gotten
gonna
a lot.
climb over her for a second and go find something to
We're gonna
Keep the
make
monster
Urza a
at bay.
bone so she stops being a dick.
keep
Brandy
the monster
booty.
at bay. Oh, booty.
Birdie!
Oh, Everett says it also gives the haunts time to mentally prepare for the rottens. That's their shit.
Hey, that has
True.
been so true of so many haunts where they were like, I don't know if Rotten's coming tonight, and then they see that live on their way here, and they're like,
What the fuck happened?
batten down the hatches.
He's Jason Goes to Hell, Jason.
Ah.
You know, that dish was black, so
Yeah.
I'm perfect for it now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
They can go through their haunt and tie everything down.
Because Matt will steal it. That's not true. Don't start that.
they like let go of like half of the actors before we get there. Oh, we can downshift, guys.
We really
Everybody
do.
gets a car in this place.
Turn the animatronics off. Man, we're not going to need those this time. These guys. Oh man. Yeah. So after Hell Night.
The following weekend, we were all out at the Haunted Chicken House in Heflin. Friday night, we had several of us. All the Hellbillies came to join us,
Yeah.
including Grim and Carrie.
That was a super ass fun night.
And then Saturday night, they were back out at Hellbilly Hollow for their opening night, and you and I still went back to the Haunted Chicken House.
And
It's
we
weird.
had
I didn't see you guys.
I know you tried to come join us.
He did, and it pissed me off that we
Supposedly-
couldn't fucking find him.
Supposedly, maybe he was lying, but supposedly he was there too, but didn't see us. So
Scurvy.
he left.
Hello, Scurvy. We're
Hello,
talking.
hello.
We're breaking down our season.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you guys go live at 6 and do your macaroni and evil.
Oh
But
yeah.
I do wish that I
Even.
had a clone. I do wish I had a clone so bad. It's going to happen. It's in the works. But I want to be able to visit at least one of me be at Hellbilly Hollow and swap up with. Yes, it is. It's in the works.
Oh,
I want to go to all these haunts
so
too.
we're saying it's not.
But you
in
get the
works, it's not
memories of
works.
your clones too, right?
We're just going to slice her in half.
Yes, we're gonna cut her in half and be like, we're
bad.
making a clone.
Too bad Tommy Dan dropped his knife.
I will
He's
burn
like,
the whole lab down.
That's not how you make clones. That's how
I
you
don't
make
know.
clones.
It's a good point. We're going backwards on this clone thing.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, continue.
I will kill all my clones. Like what? That's the only reason you make clones. Was to
Kitty
kill
says
them.
Kitty
2
wants to
grams.
know
Can
it.
I have one?
Yeah, Kitty wants to know if she can have a Grim.
You can
It's
have-
up to Matt.
you
He's
can
got
have
the
this
patent
one.
and the copyright and all of that.
Yep. I can't wait to have more than one Grim screaming podcast from every corner of the fucking house.
Oh no.
It'll be like this unison of glass breaking, like shrill chaos. It'll be rad.
So after
You think you're disappointed because I don't want multiple Grims?
You don't want multiple Grims. You would kill them all.
I would not.
Yeah,
We would
you
all
would.
plan to kill everybody else.
You're so full of shit. Your clone would be like, hey,
Although
look at me.
Smokey
And you'd be
does
like,
say-
wait, you're the clone. And then clone would be like, you're the fucking
Now,
clone.
hold on.
And then
Smokey does say that if they can have 2 Blinkies, we can have 2 Grims.
that's fair.
That is true.
I
And
cannot
then-
imagine
Oh, Scurvy.
how many
wants-
vapes would be lost. With
Yeah,
Scurvy
the
wants
whole
a
world would
Grim
be
too.
covered in vapes.
Eric does it too. He loses his vape too.
I was
Explain me.
one
It's
time.
not just
I was
me.
one
So
time.
let me see here. So far, we've got an order for a Grim from Kitty and an order for a
From
Grim from
Scurvy.
Scurvy. Got you. What's up,
Okay.
Everybody
honey?
wants a Grim.
So that's
Scurvy.
that's at least 6 Grims we already need to do.
All right, so
because
the
of math.
the next haunt I have on here
Or was that Smokey that
was
said that? Was it Smokey or did you say Blinky?
What do you mean?
Who did you say?
Scurvy. Scurvy said.
Scurvy wants a
They
Grim.
no,
want
when you were
Smokey
talking to.
said if we can have 2 Blinkies.
Oh,
we can
okay,
have 2
I got
Grims.
confused.
But the next one I have on my list was from September 29th, and that was Scott out at Creepy Hollow Woods in Jay, Florida.
Dude, that is such a fantastic haunt. I wish that had hit them in season. This was their family night, their kids' night, so they had it kind of toned down. But I was so impressed by how all of those people took the haunts, took the scares, and reeled it back to where they still were spooky.
Yeah.
But they weren't over like what they would be for a regular season haunt. But one of my favorite, I'll tell you this one thing. I know we've got so much to cover, but I'll tell you this one thing. There was a family in front of me. They had small kids, and this guy comes out of this one curtain, and he's like this big, like terrifying thing, and like the kids are like, ah, and he's like, no, sorry, I'm sorry. And, like, he wasn't trying to be scary. He was just like moving into position, like this is where I normally pop out and scare, but I'm just gonna pop out and be like, hey, I don't have candy, but I'm having a good time.
What is
so
up,
good.
Vic? What is up, Smiley?
Elizabeth Na has placed another order for a Grim.
Man, we are going to be
Yay!
fucking rolling in the dough as soon as we figure out how to clone.
We are going to be rolling in the lawsuits as
Yeah.
soon as we figure out how to get this away. refunds, everybody.
Oh, this is non-refundable.
This is as is. This is
buyer beware.
I'm done with this. Okay,
Started
next
it.
thing. I gotta get some chips.
Look at her booty
All right,
she's gonna go clone some chips.
so September
Yeah.
30th, we went out to City of Chaos.
Brandy's leaving. Where are you going?
Get more chips.
The talk of food has made me hungry.
Oh, for the love of God.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the live, or half of the
enjoying the
live.
live, yeah,
hope
now
you're
we're-
enjoying this half of the live.
This half of the live
Yeah.
stayed. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Bring us some chips.
But yeah, we went to the City of Chaos on the 30th. Had a kick-ass time as always. That was me and Brandy and Grim and Carrie all went out there, and Dan was working. I think Dan
Yes.
was working that night.
Yes.
For sure.
They
Yes, he
worked
did.
every night at City
Yeah.
of Chaos.
They're going to clone. That's not how that works.
They come back and they're just one. Like, how did that happen?
Fucked up cloning. It's the exact opposite.
Bumblefly? What? Okay, cool. So, what was that hunt? City of
That
Chaos.
was City of Chaos, and
Yeah.
they have such a fucking kick-ass show. Great
Yeah.
props, great scenes. They got great guys out there that were running it, man. It was a fucking great night.
Shout out to Tommy Dan.
Did the escape room also, and that was
What?
fun as hell. It's like one of the only escape rooms we did
What?
this year, and it was really well done.
Dude, the other thing about City of
no.
Chaos, they've got the, like, we talk a lot about bathrooms. They have the most rotten toilet.
Yes,
Yeah. They do.
they have the
The rotten
outhouse.
outhouse.
We don't know these aren't the clones.
But I will say, yes to Mrs. Smiley. This is a black dress.
We're filming a scene after we're done with this.
Yes to HCH Michael Myers. One Grim is enough.
No.
Just
She
like
means
one Matt
no.
is definitely enough.
No.
Arguably too much.
More.
Agreed. Sometimes I wish I was missing a hand.
Grim also replied on the comments to HCH Michael Myers saying, "Get out."
Get out!
So,
Wait, this Grim? Because I didn't see this Grim touch her phone, so.
oh, Andy said
think I
Grim
replied that.
is the
I
one
think-
and only, and he loves you.
Aww.
And Caitlin said, or Kitty says, Brandy's looking so fine.
Well, thanks.
Well-
This is my I'm going to kick Tommy's ass for leaving us.
Yay!
That's what this is.
So, after City of Chaos, that wrapped up that weekend, right?
No, because October 1st, we followed that up with Matt and I's first trip out to Insanitarium right down the road from us
We
here.
love you.
Doug Smokey said, don't forget the peanut butter snow cones. God damn it.
Oh, goodness.
Andy says, I want more haunted book stories.
We
Yes.
will be doing more.
There was
We will
one that just got
definitely-
released. If you guys haven't had a
Yes.
chance to check it out, it got released
Sorry,
yesterday.
if we clone Grim, the original has to stay with us. There's no fail.
That's actually part of the contract. We wish it wasn't true.
I actually didn't sign the contract. I ate it.
Nor did she have to.
Well, one of the things about the contract is eating it is if
Part of the
someone
contract.
visually sees you do it, then that counts as a
Sign
signature.
a signature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if I take your eyeballs?
That's true in all contracts.
Make you unsee it?
You can't unsee a thing.
I'll
just
use
'cause
a squeegee.
Yeah, but you'd have to erase my
Wait.
memory.
She said she's going to use a squeegee, though.
That's fair.
So
I guess
we
I can't
had
dispute
a
that.
blast at Insanitarium. We love that their new location is practically in our backyard.
Yes, because they're in our
Fantastic.
backyard. They're right there.
Yeah. Are you
No.
guys
And
guys
then-
not watching the live?
We always
then,
have such a fucking kick-ass time out there.
Yes.
They have such a badass haunt. They got that thing put up in fucking like 5-6 months.
Don't say kick ass. You will encourage the puppet.
Yeah, I know. Don't encourage the puppet.
the dummy.
Surprised the puppet isn't currently here kicking your ass.
No, Scurvy, we don't need mind wipes. Do not encourage her to mind wipe. We'll all be fucked then. She's going to erase our
Okay,
minds.
if I
and be like,
use the mind wipes on someone's butt, what does that
Mind butt wipe.
I wish I could use those after Taco Bell.
Scurvy
nights.
said mind whips, actually, and then changed it to wipes. I think I like mind whips better.
Mind whip.
Same question.
Whip that mind.
Same answer to questions.
Is that like whippets? Is that
Yeah.
mind whips?
Those are mind whips.
Yeah, those are mind whips, and you can't have them.
So then on October 2nd, several of us went out to Nightmare at 3008 in Fultondale, Alabama, for Haunters Appreciation Night.
And we got fucking slaughtered.
And there were
out
several other haunts that joined us out there.
Yes, we had a bunch of people.
There was Hellbilly Hollow and the Haunted Chicken House and
PV
City of
Slaughterhouse,
Chaos
City of
and
Chaos.
PV Slaughterhouse, yeah.
Fun story from that night. There was a young man who was starting his first haunt season with one of the haunts, and decided to go with them. Didn't realize he was getting in with the ROTN group to get the ROTN treatment that night, and then immediately following that stopped returning phone calls, and that was the end of his haunt season.
That's funny as shit.
Andy said, I almost peed when y'all put Ben in the haunted book story, but the video is absolutely fantastic. I gave it a 20 out of 10.
Yay!
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, that was
Ben,
pretty funny.
You're great.
Good job for Ben. Ben, the clip that I have used of Ben in probably 3 or 4 different things now.
We need more stuff of Ben.
If he
pretty good.
ever rivals a stick,
Yeah,
that's
I don't know. It's gonna be a hard act to follow, to say the least.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Yeah, that was an awesome night. And again, we talk about like some of these nights that maybe you didn't get to participate in, but there is so many fantastic photographs from that night.
Oh, God, there's a live where we
Videos.
were all after the haunt, just covered head to toe in fucking
Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
They up it every year.
Yeah.
It's getting to dangerous levels of upping
Yes, it is.
And so this particular ROTN treatment night at Nightmare at 3008 was the first time we met the folks from PV Slaughterhouse. So later on in the season, when we made a trip to PV Slaughterhouse, they were prepared for us.
Yeah, and they
with their
fucked us
own
up. We will get to
rotten
that
treatment.
story. PV Slaughterhouse was like, all right, we'll accept that challenge. And then they went to work, and we didn't know about it.
Yes. All right, so the following week, we kicked off on Thursday, October 6th, where we went out to Kids Night at City of Chaos.
Yes, and I did face painting. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Andy, of course
and
you
Destiny
can. Of course
and
you
Steven
can.
were there, and Destiny was also doing face painting, and Steven was helping out with everything.
Yeah.
And there were
Yes.
snakes and crocodiles and
Yes.
twiddles.
Oh,
And
there was a little
Tomatoes.
hedgehog, and
There was
Yes.
there was other stuff
little
too.
hairless.
Oh, the hairless thing! I love that
Was
thing. It was so
adorable.
cute.
They
hairless
had
No, yes, but no.
I mean, well, that's hard to argue. But
Yes, come on.
and they had bouncy house stuff and
They had balloon.
They had
jelly
the gun.
balls,
What was
zombie
the gun?
jelly ball.
Oh, the jelly
shoots.
ball.
I shot Matt with so many jelly balls.
Yeah, she did.
So many.
Shane comes around the corner and he's like,
He already knew I was gonna do
handed
it.
it to Grim, and Grim just fucking opened fire on me. I had
And I
little
didn't
fucking
stop.
red blops all over my arms
I
and
probably
shit.
had that gun for maybe 10 minutes
Craziness.
because I ran it all out on him.
Craziness.
had
Oh,
to play the bounce
look
house
who's
too.
back. Bo's back.
Oh,
Oh!
we've summoned
Yeah,
him.
well,
Oh, did you hear us
we
back
did
there?
summon him.
Oh, if you're
So
in
when-
the
what date was
Argo
this?
area, bring your bat.
That was October 6th.
Say it
Kids
again?
Night
6th.
at City of Chaos.
So
Tommy's saying something.
I already said it.
Nobody heard you say it.
He said it.
I said, Bo, if you're in the Argo area, bring your bat over. Matt needs to talk to you.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Things are about to get nuts. But October 2nd,
I smelled shit.
I got to go out to Netherworld this year.
It's
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
right. You did.
And I took my daughters for the first time, and it was the perfect haunt for them because it was absolutely gorgeous. It's not a terribly scary haunt, but
Beautiful.
yeah. And we'll talk more about it when you guys did your trip because I want to hear you guys' impression. But we'll all talk about that. But yeah, that was where I was headed while you guys were doing that.
Yeah. And so then on the 7th, you had another trip out to South Bay Nightmare in Coden, Alabama.
Yeah. South Bay Nightmare, I didn't even know about this haunt, and what was really neat, we got there. There's nobody else really in the parking lot. We're like, is this place closed? And we got there kind of late.
Credit cards?
Yeah. Still the pain. I almost went to Bailey's this season, and I was like, I'm gonna take all the money. They're gonna be like, hey, we started taking credit cards. I'll kill everyone. But yeah, I went to South Bay. It was like a super long drive, like super dark drive, and I'm like, are we even gonna be there? And I took a friend of mine who had appeared in strips, and we went through the haunt, and there was parts of the maze that went on forever. It was like really, really neatly done. I normally don't like when the fun has ended in a maze and I'm still in the maze. That has to be done so perfectly, and they did a really good job. And when I came out on the other end, it was so nice. The owners were out there, and they're like, Are you a rotten? Like, I'm a rotten. I'm a rotten. They was super happy to see some rotten people there, and they jumped on the live and chatted a little bit, and that was really neat. They said that they've been doing that for a few years, but the last 2 years they're like, you know what, we're just going to ramp it up, and they have.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It was really neat.
That's awesome.
That night we went to film
a commercial
at
Nightmare on Moulton Street
which
before
this year
they
was last
opened.
year. Love that place. Love Jay. Man,
Yes.
Jay is a badass.
That was in Decatur.
He is now known as
Grandpa Rotten.
Yeah,
Grandpa
well, I think
Rotten.
he goes by Grandpa or
Jay Rotten.
Jay Rotten.
Oh,
now.
is it J-Dog?
But we followed that up with our very first visit to Doomsday up in Athens.
And what a fucking haunt. I
Got
kind of
to
hate
meet
that
Mr. and Mrs. Smiley.
we
Yes!
missed on meeting up with Slippy, but we got to meet Mr. and Mrs. Smiley and their brother, and dude, just overall, that haunt
Fucking
is so
adore
fucking
them.
badass.
Adore the fuck out of them.
The buildings that they've got built out there, that fucking church, the slow
Dirty.
church.
Yeah.
The slow church?
Yeah, like when you first get there, it's a slow children it plays on basically, but it says slow church, and so I call it the slow church.
Oh, okay, cool.
But all that shit, like even going through the cornfield and us being like, oh fuck, man, we're finna walk up on somebody's house. This is gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
And it was like
we left the
it's
the
not
maze,
somebody's
but we
house.
didn't.
This is actually
But we
where
thought we
we're
did.
supposed to go. It was fucking badass.
It was great.
That's what I always tell you guys. Creepy Hollow Woods. There's one sign that says Creepy Hollow Woods, and you're like, what?
I mean, it's creepy and it's woods.
Then the line to get to the ticketing is just you're walking a little path in the woods, and there's trees down, and like you're like, I'm really fixing to die. The one thing about Doomsday, I didn't get to go, but if we get to go out next season, I want to go because you guys said that there's like a killer pre-show.
Yes.
And I love that. That was the first haunt that I think we went to this season that had a pre-show. Halloween Horror Nights has a pre-show, but it's usually just the actors come out and rile the crowd up and then leave. It's not much of a pre-show.
I want to get back out there for that
with the
too,
American
because we
flags
missed it.
and flamethrowers, and they got their big convoy.
That's
and
so cool.
Yeah.
But we got there late because we were out at Nightmare on Moulton Street first, so we missed that too.
But we got to go to that with the owner of Nightmare on Moulton Street and David from Door 3.
Yes,
Door
that's
Number 3
right. They
Productions.
joined us.
Yes.
Now, the following night, Matt and I were back out at the Haunted Chicken House on October 8th.
Yes, we were.
And all those visits
I did
kinda
not
blurred
walk
together
under the
for me.
table. I'm not that short, and you know it.
It'd be crazy if one of the Grimm clones came walking out from underneath the table right now and been like, boom, I'm the real Grimm.
I met someone who had met you at CreepyCon, and they said, she's really short.
Thank you. You're making that up.
No, I'm not. They're like, she's way short. Because, like, in her video, she looks really... And then in her video, like in life, she's like that big.
Just so you know, he's making it up.
I'm not making it up.
He's making it up.
Some of the clones
Shut
are
up.
taller than the others.
Look at how big she is on your screen right now. That tall? That's how tall she is in real life.
No.
The actual size. We're all actually this big.
No.
Right,
Go get your bones.
That's why I love these
Go.
hikes. They like last forever. It's like 8-mile walks.
Wait,
represent.
Don't do that anymore. Stop right now.
All right, and so on the 9th, we returned to Insanitarium.
Yes, and we brought everybody.
Yes, we had Hellbilly Hollow, the Haunted Chicken House, City of Chaos, Jay from Nightmare on Molten, and Arx Mortis.
Arx Mortis.
So many people.
And it was
that came
really
out
the
to
first time that we
Insanitarium
got
night.
to like really like connect with the Arx Mortis group.
Yes.
I am forever grateful that we've been able to talk to them because I've always loved those guys, and some of them know us from on here, but we never really had an interaction with me. I never interact with myself.
Arx is
That's
You
so
do.
not true.
it's such a great haunt, but it's also such a great haunt destination. So many people go out to Arx.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
my god, dude,
It was
their
awesome.
kids zone
Fuck you, Tommy.
is bad as fuck. Their kids zone, it rivals any kid zone I've ever seen ever.
You're a bitch.
And I got to run into one of my old friends out there who's helping
is.
design that I
Yeah,
haven't seen
you told
in
me that. That was
forever.
so awesome.
Bo is on here commenting. That was a hell of a night, and we thank all y'all for the support that night.
Yeah, that was a hell of a night.
It was. It was.
My hat got stolen that night.
My hat
Yes.
got stolen, and goddamn fucking dragon fucking stomped my hat and
I
then
said,
threw it into the woods.
You need to go out.
He was like, "Oh, rotten treatment! I can't reach those motherfuckers. Give me that hat!" Boop boop boop.
Unruly doggy.
We've got another story to tell about Insanitarium when we go back out there, which is a really fun one. that's the dueling chainsaw.
Yes.
Cool, yeah.
Doug, you're a liar.
What we were really, one of the things that we were super happy with this season is that we had these opportunities to.
And then they slipped through our fingers.
But then some other opportunities came up where we were able to go out to haunts and bring our other haunt families with us
Yes.
to
Yes.
experience that. We're so happy that the haunts were able
Not to mention
organize
that some of the haunts that we went to toward the end of the season, we didn't even, to begin with, we didn't know the haunts, and we didn't realize that anybody was going to be out there, but we ended up crossing paths with other haunts. Like, almost every time we were at a haunt, we would run into somebody else from another haunt, and that is like, that makes me so fucking happy, dude, to see that.
Absolutely, man. Even this past weekend, I out at Devil's Dungeon, and Spike and all those
Hi,
guys
Pixie
from
Sticks.
Malice were out there working the midway,
Yeah.
and they're like, "You guys don't even work here. What are you doing?" They're like, "We gotta get our scares in."
Yeah.
Ah!
Same with the cats from Arx at Netherworld the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
night. It's like,
Oh, was Arx there?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What the fuck?
Stop spreading lies.
About what?
Misinformation.
Where,
That's what
where
you're
are
doing.
we up to?
all right, so I don't know where we're up to. We lost
at
our
the
Brandy, and
night.
she's the one that keeps up
I
with this
wish
kind
I
of
would. I want
things.
to know what's happening.
Okay, so then
happening
on
now,
the
let me-
13th, that subsequent Thursday, we went to the Territorium in Oxford, Alabama. It was me and Brandy and Grim and Carrie and Tommy.
That was it.
Sanatorium.
Territorium has always been
It was?
one of the best haunts,
Right,
and I'm so glad that you got to take
phone.
more people
Oh
out
my
there this
God.
year. And I'm also glad that you guys got to talk more with the haunt owner.
Yeah,
You're like beating the shit out of me. I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
Hey guys, none of this is going to read on the podcast.
yeah. Stop playing about. Busted.
Oh,
But we were talking about how we went to the Territorium. It was his first time to the Territorium. And it was Grim and me and Brandy and Carrie. And we actually got to talk with Jason a bunch.
Jeremy?
Jeremy, fuck.
Yes.
A bunch. And it was fucking hilarious. It was awesome. I had a great time talking to him.
the whole thing was fun and hilarious and great and beautiful, and I loved it.
We're hopefully going to be shooting a commercial for them next
Dude,
year.
I'm super excited about that. I talked that haunt up a lot this weekend because, guys, if you've never been to this place, no one is doing what he's doing, and really no one could. It's a retro haunt.
Yes.
It
It's
is.
got a retro dark ride. It's got a carousel out front. It's got a midway that It's not your gore. It's not your blood splattered. This thing. It's that 50s diner retro beachside haunt.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of Oxford, Alabama.
Yes.
You know?
With rides and the whole fucking 9 yards, it is a destination. Their midway is always kind of jumping. Even though it's just a parking lot midway, they have so much stuff to
You've got
do.
the Ferris wheel. You've got some other different carnival type
The
rides.
fact that the dark ride actually was
ride.
displaced from Coney Island.
Yeah. What was weird is like I don't know if you guys hit up a lot of like county fairs that would set up in like a
No, God, I
TG
hate
and
county
Fry.
fairs.
I think the
parking
last
lot.
time we did that was with you.
Oh, possibly.
It's been a while.
Oh, was that at Oak Mountain?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it has been a while.
That was a state fair. Okay.
Yes. I said the last time we did anything like that.
That's fair.
What
that's
did you
fair.
think
But
about
they had a
Territorium,
Gravitron.
Tommy?
Yeah, they did.
Tommy,
What did I like about Territorium?
Mm-hmm.
this was your first year there, right?
Yeah, it's the only time I've ever been to Territorium was this year. Same with a few other haunts. But yeah, Territorium was really good. I really enjoyed it. Come on. Is that loud enough for you,
I
Scott?
don't know. If you want to be heard on the podcast, it's just.
Oh yeah,
Miracle
that's right.
Strip.
All the
It's a
rides are
good
from
thing.
Miracle Strip
PCB,
and Panama City Beach. That's what it is. Yeah.
Fuck up.
I couldn't remember for some
Yeah.
reason.
Territorium.
Oh.
Great without Grim.
I hate you.
So we're up to
No, I love you.
where are we up to there, Brandy?
So then the
14th.
next night was when Matt and I returned to
our
Mountain
secret
Creek
haunt.
Trail of Fear
Skirt.
in Verbena.
Guys, they love y'all so much. Talking to the owners this weekend, I got to talk to Joe and them a couple of times, and asked about you constantly, and they're like, yeah, man, we kind of got to see Matt grow up in this thing, and I was like, when?
When did that
I haven't
happen?
grown up.
What? I said, hopefully, what?
All right.
What did you guys think about Mountain Creek Trail of Fear this year?
Man, loved Mountain
loved
Creek.
it
Always
so
loved
much.
Mountain Creek.
I love the way they changed, like the different stuff that they added to the Hayride Trail and all that. Just, I mean, it set the whole scene for
and
everything else
we got
that came
so
across. It was
many
so
fucking
good.
scares out there.
Yes.
So many fucking scares. And I'll never, ever, ever not love the simple fact of their hayride goes through the fucking trees,
Yes.
where the trees are literally like almost touching
The
the
hayride,
ride, and
yes.
it's just this
and like it's
corridor
all
of
like
trees.
super
I love
tall,
the shit
and you're
out
just
of it.
going. Oh, it's great. It's great. I
You
love
guys
it.
have mentioned that a couple of times, and the other thing that you mentioned almost every time is when you pull up, you just pull up
That
into
smoke.
the fog
Yeah.
and everything,
And that laser that lays
picture.
right across, and that
Yes.
nice smoke coming up. It's always
awesome.
you know you're at fucking Mountain Creek when you pull up on Mountain Creek. It's like, what the fuck?
And that
And-
one's in Verbena, Alabama.
Yes.
For good
Yes,
measure.
and if you've been listening for a while, then you know earlier we were discussing all the fantastic food we had that night from TNT Burgers. It was
Yep.
fantastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But we always love Mountain Creek. We have a great time there. And we never invite the rest of you to join us.
Yeah,
Apparently.
apparently nobody ever comes with us to Mountain Creek.
It's haunt season. We're all go.
Yes.
And
So much
October is Matt and Brandy's anniversary month.
Yes.
So the one date night they get, they choose to spend it at Mountain Creek Trail of Fear. So if you want to ruin it for them, join them one time. I'm going to that haunt.
I really
Yes,
want
no,
some more
really.
people to get
Y'all
out to
need-
Mountain
y'all
Creek.
need to
Mountain
see it
Creek is
for
a
sure,
hidden
for
little
real.
gem, dude.
Yeah.
We'll find a different one to go to. No.
Mr. Smiley says, Eve says, I can't wait till y'all come back through Doomsday. Y'all made my night that night. And Mr. Smiley says, I've been still trying to get a wink and a blow, but damn, nothing.
Is he trying to make it bigger?
Yes, he is.
Is he trying to get Doomsday bigger?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Open the door for the dog again, please, and maybe she will go away.
Hit it with the hammer. Don't use that piston thing.
Get
All
over
right.
here, dog.
So, moving on.
Yeah, look,
Never get back in.
just kicked her ass out.
All right, so on the 15th, we were all out at Hellbilly Hollow.
Fuck you,
You
Tommy.
joined us too that night
Yeah.
on October 15th.
God,
Yeah.
everything. Oh man, it's all running together. I think that was
know.
the first night.
That you were able to join us, I think.
Yeah, that was the.
Except for, except for when, no, that's it. I think that was the first night you were able to join us.
Because I had
and come with
gone
us.
earlier in the season. I
Yeah.
had gone. I had run through everything there, and then I had jumped over and ran through City of Chaos.
Right.
Was that?
I think that was the night before when we were out at Mountain Creek.
Yeah, because y'all
On
were
the
coming
14th,
back, and I
you
was
went,
doing the line.
yeah. That's what it was. And then you joined us out there on the 15th.
The audience is like, well, you guys better have it right. Who's fact checking
too bad for
this?
that.
Dude, like, just trying to come up with this list was like, for real? We did all of this stuff?
Yeah,
For
guys,
real?
don't fact shame us, please. Just because we don't know what we do doesn't mean you can make fun of us for it.
Yeah, and we're all very, very fact.
Yes, we're fact as hell.
I don't know anything.
We're all fact.
Guys, we're going to on the podcast. We're going to take just a quick couple minute break, and we'll be right back on the podcast for you guys watching on Facebook Live.
We will still be here.
We are not going anywhere.
But we're probably going to stop talking.
Coming this October, as night falls on a quarantined prison somewhere in Vincent, Alabama, vampires have taken over at Hellbilly Hollow, and things will never be the same.
Come visit Hellbilly Hollow in Vincent, Alabama. You'll have the best night of your life.
Yes, we'd love to have you in our neck of the woods.
The wait is driving us batty.
This year, we've raised the stakes. Join us.
Join us.
One of Alabama's top-rated haunts. This is the one for you.
Hellbilly Hollow Haunted House Attraction in Vincent, Alabama. Open at 7 p.m. every Friday and Saturday in October.
Tickets available at the door.
Exclusive merchandise, tasty concessions, live entertainment.
Well-lit bathrooms.
For more information, check us out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and at hellbillyhollow.com. And we will see you there.
Join us.
We're back, guys.
We're back, guy.
It sounds like we didn't even take a break, but we totally took a break, didn't we, guys?
Oh my god, we did a break from her.
Shut the fuck
Okay,
up.
so we left off. We were around the 10th, 12th?
Mr. Smalley said, "My butt and Matt have a bond." I did grab his ass a lot when we were in Nightmare on Molten Street.
Which we still haven't gotten
Yes,
to.
Biggs. Everett needs a distance hug.
Distance us. Where are we at? We're at the 12th?
We are at October 16th now.
Oh, wow.
Where Matt and I went to Warehouse 31 in Pelham.
Such a fucking badass show. It has been a while since we had been out there. We got to talk to the guy who designed it. It was a fucking phenomenal show. Like, we didn't spend a lot of time in the Midway. We had the Hellbillies come out there. Tim was out there with us as well. But they have, what's up, Mambo?
Hello.
But they have, karaoke and all kinds of shit like that. It's so fucking awesome out there. And they sell beer, which is pretty awesome. Oof. Scurvy says
Yes, Steve.
they need a Biggs hug. And Mambo said, fuck Rotten. Yeah!
Yes!
Fuck them. Fuck Rotten.
It has been a very long time since we have journeyed out to Warehouse 31, which is weird because it is a more of a local haunt.
It is.
But it's just one that we normally hit Atrox instead of Warehouse. So it's
And this
kinda
year
neat.
we hit Warehouse
And
and
not
not
Atrox.
Atrox.
Warehouse came in right at the end of Sloss, and they had some of their performers and people went there, and then Hellbilly benefited from some of the actresses and makeup artists going over there. So that was really kind of cool. Okay, what was that a Thursday?
Well, that was a Sunday night, and on that same night, that is when Tommy and Kim went to go work at Insanitarium.
Oh, yes. Oh, my
Super
fucking
awesome
God.
time.
Had such a great time. I love everybody out there. It was great working
Big
with
says
everyone.
Everett gets a long distance hug for the low, low price of $6.
Hayes family from City of Chaos was out there with us.
That's
too.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
There's some really cool pictures of that. If you guys like seeing a lot of Grimm's makeups, you should check out what she looked like on that night because it was thematic to
their
to
makeup team is top tier, holy fucking shit, and I loved it. It was so fun.
Dudley says y'all need to come clean up your studio. Constance says, who is rotten and why do they suck? Wait, why do I have it on my cosplay character?
Urza, stop.
I was just trying to
No.
Dudley
I want to
said
be on
he
the
had fun playing
podcast.
with you.
It was fun playing with you, Dudley.
Oh, Urza.
Destiny's
cool. So
here.
that was
Hi, Destiny Kutchman.
that was
Go get that bone.
that was
Get
Sunday
that bone.
night.
Yes, that was Sunday, October 16th.
Now, guys, I want y'all to understand something.
Go.
We have covered a ton of haunts. It's already halfway through October, and if you haven't been keeping up, every single night we have recorded a podcast.
Yes.
Released it
What are
every
you
single
doing?
morning.
Are
We
you
have
surfing?
released
Are you
an
surfing?
episode of Rotten Strips every single day, which we wrote pretty much that day. Recorded, edited, and pushed out. There were episodes of Tommy Time that were going up. There was
Grim Story
Grim
Time.
Story Time, Brandy's Haunted Bookshelf, like
Brandy's Spooky Stories.
Brandy's Spooky
Did that
Stories,
too.
which was alive.
Yes.
So in addition to hitting all of these haunts, continually going out and supporting the haunts and doing everything that we could with the haunts, we're also making Rotten content daily, and
Yeah.
it was a madhouse. It was a madhouse. It was a sleep deprived, onslaught of
Yes.
Just go over this way. Hold on, I'm just gonna go.
Okay. All right.
Goodness.
He walks on water too, and blood.
Jesus Christ.
It's awesome, rotten. Oh, Matt table dancing.
He does that quite a lot too.
Matt dances like a table would dance. Oh my, I got 4 legs.
I do it once too.
You guys are awesome.
So we are up to the next weekend now.
We are up to the next weekend.
Yes. So the next thing I have listed is October 20th, where you went to Sweet Dreams in Mobile.
Yeah. And guys, I've been really excited because I always look for something in Mobile. I worked for Mobile in like the last 8 years. There's never been like a real kind of haunted house that was of note. And Sweet Dreams was a haunt out of Summerdale, Alabama. They closed down a couple of years ago. They just reopened at a new location. They bought a building. They got a 10-year lease on this building. They took their whole haunt, filled it up, and it has an sanitarium feel. It has that kind of the vintage paint jobs and that sort of thing. You walk into this massive facade. The people out there, I was talking to them, the owners of it, and like they were super. I love when I talk to haunt owners and they're super excited and passionate about what they do. And they were like, yeah, take a picture of the facade. And, they let me do that. And then I did a live from there and got hijacked in my live
by a red balloon.
What the hell?
That's crazy.
It's not the first time something with full of hot air has taken over.
What did you do? Don't look at me like that.
What? No. What are you talking about? Look.
You mean Matt? Stop looking at me.
I wasn't. I didn't name names. I don't know why you have a guilty conscience.
If I fall off the table, we'll pay more. Tommy said $1 for an hour of Matt table dancing. Everett said that's $1.99 more than it's worth. Constance said $1 and maybe 50 cents unless Matt falls off the table, then I'll pay $1.
Now,
Okay, it looks like the table has hijacked.
Mr. Smiley says he was more gentle with that table than he was with my behind.
The table's on 4 legs. If you get on all 4s, it's the same thing.
Now, on that same night, that was when the 4 of us went out to Haunted Trails of Terror in Huntsville,
Yeah, what
Alabama.
a crazy little haunt in the middle of nowhere, just kind of
Yes.
there chilling. It was fun, dude. I had a lot of fun, and you could tell that it was like They played like 6 characters apiece. They were hauling ass.
How much
That's
for the table?
awesome.
You say you're buying the table. How much for the table?
I'm buying the table.
You keep playing this game.
I mean, you said it.
I did, didn't I?
It's so weird to look at you
But Big
wearing
says-
that because you're wearing a reverse mask. Normally people have something that covers their face. You're like, no, this is my moneymaker.
Fucking cover everything else up.
I've never seen anybody dressed as a glory hole.
Big says he'll give you $6 for a table dance.
Oh, done, Biggs, done. Okay, so I'm gonna need somebody to give Biggs $12 so I can get 6 and he can keep 6.
Okay. So after that,
On October 21st was when Matt and I went up to PV Slaughterhouse
oh yeah,
Oh
in
God.
Rainsville. And as we mentioned earlier, after meeting them
Cricket,
at
what's
Nightmare
up?
at 3008 after the rotten treatment,
God, we've got so
they
much
were
to talk about
prepared
here.
for us.
The first thing that happens is like
Hello,
we
Cricket.
walk in and the security guy's like, "Oh, who are y'all?" And we're like, "Oh, we're rotten." He's like, "Oh, they've been talking about y'all." And it's like, what the fuck? We go in, the girl taking tickets didn't know us, but then the
And that
other
was
girl
fine.
was one of the ones that had met us at Nightmare 3008, and
One
she
of
was
them.
like, "Oh, hold on. I gotta
husband's
get,
got
I gotta
something
get my
for you."
husband on the radio. Hold on. This fucking
She
human
pulled us out of the
possum comes out
line.
of nowhere.
Well, she pulled us out of the line and told us we had to wait there while other people went into the haunt. And then, yes,
Never
a
an
possum
encouraging
comes
sign.
Comes in with a fucking egg carton, opens these eggs that say rotten on them, and puts an egg in each one of our pockets and challenges us to make it out of the haunt without breaking the eggs in our pockets.
they didn't even have to do that. They could have just had you put your cell phones in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
That story comes later.
You said you'd pay money if I dress up like an old lady on the table. I will fucking do that shit in a
You could just go
fucking
watch
heartbeat.
strips.
Yeah,
'cause
that
that's
happens.
Pretty sure that happened. So on that same night was when you went out to Leicester Haunted Hospital.
That's right. That was a fun trip. That was an unexpected trip because I had always pictured, and I don't know why, but I had always pictured Leicester as like this imposing, dark, 2-story.
Sort of like Bryce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly like Bryce. I always thought it was like Bryce. It's a 1-story, unassuming brick building, and there's a little bit of a facade, and I was like, okay, this is different, but.
Oh well, we didn't go into that. She went past that because PV Slaughterhouse whooped our asses and
Yes,
broke
they
those
did.
fucking eggs,
Yes,
and
they
we went
did.
home covered in shit and rotten eggs.
Oh,
I
yeah, you
lost
guys
my
should talk more
first
about
egg.
that, actually.
I lost my first egg in the very first room we went into.
They
It was
literally
smashed
went
and
and
all
got
down my leg.
swamp mud from behind their facility where the wastewater runs off and smeared it all over us.
Yep.
They came out of PV Slaughterhouse looking like they had just left Nightmare at 3008.
Yes, they did a fucking phenomenal job
And what was the challenge you said?
To keep the eggs.
from getting broken.
No, what was the challenge that you said to the other haunt?
Oh, I didn't say any
no.
of it.
That did not happen.
I did not say a fucking word.
Hey, so back to talking about Lester, though. Mr. Smiley said Chris from Rooted FX does all the work for Lester Haunted Hospital and is an amazing guy and his best friend.
That's awesome. Lester, because it's after season, I'll tell y'all just a little bit about it. I think we can do some spoilers on some stuff now. But the very first room that you walk into, they do like they read the rules, and it's a neat way that it's done. And then
8? Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. I wish I had 8.
Yeah.
Me too.
Before I started this
I'm
podcast.
ready to 8.
That sounds about right.
But you walk in, they do the rules, and then like the rules are all written on the wall, and then the lights go out, and they do some little pop scares there, and then they like go out the door. It's a fake door. They got you. So then you go through the wall. Immediately, and I've talked about this a lot since. Immediately you go into a birth canal, and I never ever imagined how into a haunt that will take you. Because we always see birth canals halfway through a haunt.
Yeah.
We always see vortex tunnels halfway through a haunt. Always. Right? But they had their birth canal very first, so immediately you're in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You come out of the birth canal, you drop down on all fours, and it's like a block, and you have to crawl around this whole room, and the room that you're crawling around is full of PVC that separates you from the people inside, which are actors who are like messing with you as you're on all fours crawling, and you're like, I'm completely immersed in this experience.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
You jump to the other side, they line you up against the wall, make sure your backs are touching the wall, they're going to take your picture. That's when the wall falls. Blam! And the last thing that I'll say about that was they did another really fun thing where you're in kind of a dark room, they line you up to take your picture, and the guy hits his camera, and it's this big flash that blinds you. Right, and then there's a couple of those. And then you go through like a little Leatherface area where they put you into like a meat locker area. The lights go out. He's taking pictures. Flash, flash, flash. Chainsaws going off. Wow! And so you're just like freaking out. You're like in the flash of the thing, and it's not pictures. It's video that you get to buy at the end.
That's awesome.
Brilliant.
That's
awesome.
cool. Yeah, before you mentioned the falling wall, Mr. Smiley actually referenced it and asked about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yes, Mambo Baptiste, we did get slaughtered at PB Slaughterhouse.
Oh, yeah.
They need a shirt that says I got slaughtered.
I got slaughtered at
PB.
PB Slaughterhouse, yes.
It says help something. Are we going to get in trouble for
Help something. That's all it says.
Now, after you went to Leicester, you followed it up by stopping by Nightmare on Moulton Street, right?
I did.
And was that their opening night? Was that their first night or second night?
Was it a Friday or Saturday?
I think a Saturday. No, I don't know. Honestly,
That's
I'm
fair.
not sure at
No,
this point.
that's totally fair. And it's really
I think it was
irrelevant.
a Saturday, so Friday night would have been their opening
Yeah.
night. But it was their opening weekend.
Yeah, I think they were only open 2 weekends.
Yeah, they were.
And then additional night, right?
Yeah.
Tater tot.
That dog will not stop.
Yeah, so that was my first experience, and actually, we'll talk more about Nightmare Moulton when you guys talk about it. But I had a good time, and it was neat to be able to see that haunt for the last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, the way I have this list, that was actually a Friday night. That was their opening night.
Oh, okay, cool.
We did a whole lot of stuff, and this has gotten really, my 2-page list has gotten really confusing already.
That's fair. That's fair. No, we did a ton of things.
Because on the 22nd, after that, we were all out at Hellbilly Hollow again.
We spent a lot of time at that place.
We did. But we love Hellbilly Hollow.
Oh.
Yes,
It's kind of how we got started doing
We're
all
going to
of this.
spend a whole lot of time at that place coming up in the next month.
That was the night I was working the Midway as Leslie Vernon.
Yes.
And that was the first time I've gotten to wear that mask, and I had a really good time.
It was fun.
It was we worked so hard all season, and there was a few nights where most of us got to work the Midway and play.
I loved working the Midway. This season was the first time I ever did that, and it was so much fucking fun. I couldn't get
Bo
enough.
says they went through Leicester and signed
During COVID.
Signed the waiver, and he says, I'm not going to talk about what happened in the closet that I got locked in.
Oh, that sounds like a fun experience. I wish I was a part of that.
All right, so where are we at now?
Well, on
your vegetables.
And butt.
So on Sunday, October 23rd, several of us returned back to Hellbilly Hollow for their kids' trunk or treat that
We
afternoon.
did, and they always have such a good turnout for trunk or treat.
Yes. And there was a magic school bus and a Miss Frizzle.
Yes.
Crystal.
And we got
That
to
was
hang out
awesome.
with David Miller.
Yes.
Your favorite of the Millers.
My favorite of the Millers.
Yeah.
Next only to Chris Miller.
Exactly.
Kim Miller, right?
Yeah, Kim Miller, yeah. That's true.
Oh, easy guys. Kim Miller's up there.
Eve says Doomsday is doing a Christmas haunt. Eve,
Yes.
we're gonna put a post up in ROTN and try to get all the haunts to post their dates.
Yes.
For their Christmas stuff this year.
In the Rotten
Hopefully,
community,
they're
yeah.
staggered enough to where we can hit a few of them.
We're not
I
going
can't
to
go
be
to any
able to. They're going to be at
Hellbilly
Hollow every single night of December, Friday, Saturday,
Is
Sunday.
it straight Christmas or is it a
Yes.
Christmas haunt?
It is not a haunt.
Okay.
It is straight
It's
Christmas
definitely not
lights.
straight Christmas
But
at Hellbilly
they
Hollow,
are.
What?
Their scene is a Nightmare Before Christmas scene.
Oh, that's fun.
So there
Our
is that.
personal scene.
Yeah,
Yes.
but there's
lots more.
multiple other scenes. The hayride trailer will be going through multiple Christmas scenes.
Yes.
So
That's fun. That's fun. But hopefully,
I'll be out there most of that, but I don't think I can do every single night. I
Yeah.
just don't see
I
it
want
happening.
to try to hit a couple of
Yeah.
if I can, and if not, then I don't.
I'm sure that we will be doing lives from that trail.
Probably.
Cool. So where are we at?
On October
I did not get your children's
25th,
dance.
you met all of us out at Containment in Lithia Springs, Georgia.
Yeah, Containment was a blast.
Yeah.
That was Tommy Dan's first
First trip
time.
to Containment, yeah.
Have you ever been to a haunt before? Because it seems like every time we take you to a haunt, it's like,
I've
hey,
never
this is
been
your
here.
First time.
This is the only second year I've been haunting with you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, Containment was new for me this year. So was Netherworld.
Containment was a fucking blast. It was fucking raining out there.
And is this their last season in that location?
They don't know yet.
Oh, that's right.
They were talking about there's a possibility that they'll get more of that land, but there's also a possibility that they lose.
They'll get
that
less of
Yes.
that land. Okay. So it's there's no possibility that they'll have the same amount of land next year.
Okay, so Mrs. Smiley got upset that she was not going to be able to play with the Rottens for their Christmas haunt. So Mr. Smiley says that they're going to have to make a trip. And because she said she was going to stay home. She's like, she's not doing it. She's going to stay home because we're not going to come play. So he said he is going to tie and gag her and bring her here.
And then she said, "Yes, sir."
Who are these Smiley
And Bo says, "I wish I was invited to places."
Oh,
Bo works continually.
yeah.
Makes
Makes it
Bo, we
complicated
have
for us to know
invited
when
you
you're
to every
available.
place that we have gone to, and every time you turn us down, we're gonna stop inviting you.
Yeah, Bo.
But you have an open invite. You can always come and join
Yeah,
us.
you can
on
always go fuck yourself.
That's an open invite. It never goes away. That coupon does not expire.
So on October 26th, Matt and Tommy and I went up to Nightmare on Molten in Decatur.
And got our first experience, and it was fucking amazing.
We had seen some of the sets when we filmed the commercial, but we had never actually gone through the haunt at that point. Only Scott had seen it.
Was
at
this
that point.
was this the Haunters Night?
Yes,
Yeah.
and
The Hunters
it was. So we
Appreciation
had
Night, yeah.
we met. What was the other haunt we met out there?
The one in Cortland, the Haunted House of
Haunted House of Horrors. We got to meet
Yes.
them. We'll be doing work with them next
Yes.
year, and we got to hang out with a
Doomsday.
couple of cats from Doomsday as
Yeah.
well.
Was
Including the
Smiley
Smileys.
Yeah, they were there too.
Mr. and
That's
Mrs.
where
Smiley
I
came to
groped
play with us.
Smiley a bunch.
Yes,
Oh.
that's where the entire time that
Completely
we walked
unintentional.
through the haunt, Matt continued to grab his ass over and over again. He commented on it quite frequently.
They had a really interesting. Their Scooby Doo room was very smart. Was a very smart because to get out you have to actually change the architecture of the room. To change entire paths. Yeah, like it's. But when you open that door, it closes off another path.
Yeah.
And that was really neat. I don't know that I've seen it. It's kind of how hedge mazes are set up. When you set up hedge mazes with multiple outcomes of how to get through there, it's by opening gates, closing gates, and that's what they had done there. And I was really impressed.
I had a lot
with
of fun in that room.
Yeah.
Mr.
You bring
Smiley
shame
said he
to your
loved the
own
whole
family
time.
name.
So
Yes.
Whatever is being written in that chat, it is not me.
You keep saying that.
His manager, he's a big TikTok star. He's got that
big
social
Tik.
media.
Big tick star.
He's a big.
You can talk to.
You're too famous for this. Why are you messing with her? You're too famous for this, sir.
So yeah,
underneath me.
guys,
Well, I'm still gaining.
that was
without talking.
a really good haunt. It was in a
was.
haunted location.
You will never get to see it again. It is
But
done.
hopefully things might work out where some of the things there you will see in some
Somewhere
other
else.
haunts
Yeah.
coming up soon,
Including Jay.
including a whole
Yeah.
J. Yep,
Grandpa Rotten himself.
the Spooky of the North.
Right. So on the 27th, Matt and Grim and I went out to Arx Mortis and Killing.
Grimini.
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 I like that.
My
And
least favorite zodiac.
we
sign.
went up there with
Because it's the
a
greatest.
crew of folks from Insanitarium.
Yeah, and we had such a fucking blast up there.
It was.
Oh wait,
that.
did Bo get to go?
Yeah, Bo.
Oh, so he.
Bo did get to
Oh,
go. That's
weird how that works,
Weird.
right?
Although
Oh,
I
my
think in
goodness.
this instance, it wasn't us inviting him; it was him inviting us.
You know what?
And we
Wait a minute.
Actually, I don't know.
turned that invite
Actually,
down and then we.
Now that I mention it, I don't actually think we got an invite.
No, we said we were going.
we just
Yeah.
went.
Well, you took
So-
all of the fun immediately out of that. We had him.
We just did it. So.
Yes, the
It
no-no
ain't our fault
square.
if you don't
There
do
was-
it. Yes,
one
there
of
was the no-no square.
Wilhelm was running around with his no-no square. He told us the name of that character. I can't say it now because I can't remember all of it, but it was something.
It was something he
fuck
wasn't
well.
allowed to say while he was there.
Yes.
I know that. I
It was
remember
something
that part.
fuck well.
Yeah.
But we had such a great night going through and seeing all of them. And again, after we got to actually talk to them at Sanitarium, we told them, like, hey, we are pro fuck rotten. You know, feel free if you ever see us anywhere. But
So
they're
they're
like
like,
a really PG haunt, so they'd be like, F rotten. F rotten.
Or,
I can't say it,
but rotten. It was great.
Heck on you, rotten.
But yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smiley were there with us that night too. So
That's super
and
fun.
the brother, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry,
Brother Smiley.
Brother Smiley.
Bo says he invited us and
The
we said
goat
we were on the way. Go to
screams.
hell.
Oh,
Yeah, I
God.
did that off. You've never seen that?
Yeah, that was 15 of the cryptids sounds this season.
I love
that, I
this
thought.
screaming. I don't know. I forgot it then.
Yeah.
If you did.
Cool, guys. And
I love it.
now Arx does a.
Oh no, I saw.
Arx does a really good Christmas haunt. We've enjoyed
they do.
many years.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we probably will miss that this year. But My Bloody Valentine is only a couple of months
Yes.
away.
Exactly. We will definitely have to make it there
February
for
is
My
going
Bloody
to be
Valentine.
booked the fuck up, especially if we plan on going to
love
Mad
this.
Monsters,
Trans World.
Trans World, Mad Monsters, and there was something else
I
in
don't think we can
February.
do all of that.
There was something else in February too. I can't remember what it was.
Valentine's Day.
Well, that.
Yeah, we don't pay attention to that, except for the haunt aspect.
What's up, Mike?
So
Yeah,
we
Frankenville is amazing. Like I said
is.
before, Arx has one of the best kid
Yes.
zones I have ever
Next
seen.
Yes.
season, I'm taking my little spawn to that place. Yes.
So on October 28th, Scott joined you and me out at the Haunted Chicken House again.
Yes.
Oh, that was a great night.
It was.
That was a really.
We
really
had a
fun
blast.
night.
I think that was the night I wore this dress for the first time. Actually, I had a mask with it, and I danced all around the Midway a lot
and then regretted that later.
when I hurt.
We're so
I was
sore.
like, "How did I do
So
all of
sore
that?"
after that night.
that was fun because, and we haven't talked a lot about the Haunted Chicken House, but they did a huge build out this year. A ton of work went into it, and if you have ever been to the Haunted Chicken House, just going up to the Haunted Chicken House, you notice that their queue line, that was the night that the video monitors had been installed. So the whole queue line has video monitors. When you get into the waiting room itself, like, it is completely redone with big chicken cages, big chickens. There's
Chickens.
yeah,
There's
and, like,
chickens.
absolutely amazing what they have done.
Oh,
with
look,
that
Spook's
place.
on here. What's up, Spook?
What's up, man?
We're going to go check out Spook Trail on the 13th of January. They're doing a Friday the 13th.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Because we didn't get to out to them this year.
We did
'cause-
not,
Papa-
but we
Papa Payne
did
did.
send Papa
Yeah,
Payne.
Papa Payne did get out there.
So that's fun. But yeah, the trail this year was really good too. I don't know how the crazy train was.
We did not do it.
We don't do.
We were threatened with it.
I
don't
did
do
it
the crazy
my
train
first day
anymore.
at Hot Chicken House. I did it like 3 times. I was so obsessed with it. I literally just yelled out, "Break all of my bones!"
I got to talk about that a little bit this weekend, and because it's the only ride that you could go on. It's in a place like this. Because a lot of the, I was talking to a lot of the hunters from up north, and they're talking about how regulated they are, and they're like,
Yeah.
you guys don't have any regulations at all." And I'm like, "Oh, we got a couple.
A couple.
But they're like, crazy train, they're like, no, would never ever pass. They were like five steps into Miller's Drillers, which we'll talk about later. They're like, our fire department would have shut the whole thing down.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I talked about how it's neat to lose gravity in the crazy train, because several times we've been sitting there and our phone would just float.
And we're like, "Hey, look, our phone!" Bam!
The first time I rode it, my phone flew back, and you caught it, wasn't it?
It was like
you just caught it in there.
And when you're riding in it, it looks like it is just floating in midair for a second with the bounce before we came back down.
And that's something else to address. Like Everett's out there running that house and doing a phenomenal job.
He is.
Like they were firing on all cylinders at the Honda Chicken House this year. It was a fucking great experience.
And props to Everett too. Like he's going out and getting other ideas. He was at Legendary this weekend, and he's doing the thing, and I'm super proud of everything.
You
he's
get
doing.
2 props from me. Pow, pow. Done.
That's true. That's your props.
Yep.
Those are pops.
Those are props.
You forgot the R.
I
You
forgot
actually,
the R.
Yeah.
you actually just gave him 2 HCH Michael Myers.
Pops.
Pops.
So on the
No
29th
takebacks.
was when Matt and I went up to Bedlam.
Great show, broken phone.
Yes.
Oh,
Bedlam.
I was thinking the Slaughterhouse. No, it was Bedlam.
It was
that did that.
Bedlam.
Yeah.
Bedlam put on a great show. They do advertise themselves as an extreme hunt. We apparently decided to ignore that. Matt decided to hand me his phone because we all assumed he would get the worst of the treatment. That part's still true. Only I did still get slung down a hallway up against a wall.
And took a tumble and crushed. that
I wore the wrong shoes that night. It's a very bad idea. Very poor planning on my part. I did not manage to stay on my feet. And my ass broke Matt's phone.
It
Smashed
did.
it.
Dangerous.
Ah, Brandy Booty.
Girl, she's so dangerous.
But that is not the fault of Bedlam in any way. That was the fault of us. But I will say this. Bedlam is a great show.
Yes, it is a great show.
If you are going to get
Fire.
the necklace and get the extreme treatment, which I highly recommend,
leave your phones in
leave
the
your
car.
shit in your car.
But as you can
That's
see,
what we should have
the
done.
phone
Well,
situation
don't
has
shit
been
in the
taken
car.
care
Phone
of.
has been
I've got the
replaced. We
the
have
phone.
another phone. All is good.
Was this the first year for Bedlam?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So awesome. So you guys for the first year of it being a Bedlam, and I know it took place on another haunt, but like it being Bedlam, it was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
That's
We
awesome.
had a fucking hell of a good time. And the characters, they were so interactive out there.
Yes.
Like every one
It
of
was
them
good.
were interactive characters. It's one of the places to go to get that improv show where they're interacting with the audience.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that in seasons
Now,
to come.
on our way back from Bedlam, we met up with Scott back at Insanitarium.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys were done.
Yeah, we were done.
You were done, and I went to. There were some Halloween parties that I went, and I saw people. I shook hands, and I don't think I was at any of those Halloween parties more than 10 minutes. I did it exactly correctly done. It was awesome.
Ta-da!
And then we went to Insanitarium, and that was the night that they. We had this weird feeling that
You
they
get
were
erections
clearing
from
out,
statues?
that they were clearing out the haunt before we went in.
What?
Yeah.
And then we went in. Great show. It's always a great show.
Always a great show.
But that was the night that Matt got 2 chainsaws
Yeah.
at the same time.
I had 2 chainsaws in my butt lift me off the ground with my butt. And then Dudley tried to hit me in the nuts, and
you dodged.
I dodged, and Scott got the nut shot.
Yeah. And it was like, the tactical precision, because like he swung for Matt's nuts, and then like on his backswing got mine, and I was like, yo, woo.
Our previous visit to Insanitarium, Matt had been hitting the
Reliable.
nuts.
I am not reliable for any damages.
Yes, you are, though.
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Also, that was a funny thing that happened that night was a guy's chasing me with the chainsaw. There's an actor in the corner.
That's right.
And I thought it was you guys in the corner. So I like walked up and I bumped into, I thought you. No, it wasn't you, it was another actor. And then the chainsaw guy like misses me and gets you, not you. And so
It was another actor.
And so Chainsaw is just going to town on his own. And later he was like, dude, you were like 8 inches into my stomach. And if I had a nickel.
Do you need a nickel?
It was fun though.
I think Scott needs a nickel.
Sanitarium is always
donate
a
your
great
nickels to
show.
Scott.
I would pay for parking.
Now, October 30th, we had a very special night.
Well, I don't remember that one.
We had
Oh, yeah, you
Rotten
do.
Night at Hellbilly Hollow, and it was a
Back at
fucking
Hellbilly
Night
Hollow
was the best.
for the
It was
bloodiest
fucking
night
crazy.
ever.
And it was like
it was
goopiest,
amazing.
first
bloodiest.
time I worked the room in a long time, and the customers loved our room. We
Yes.
all did a phenomenal job.
I got to work with Matt in front room. I got to scare with you. Holy
and we
fucking shit.
fucking baptized people,
Yes.
and fucking it was a fucking.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to tell
Carrie
people not to go in there.
They did not
Please
listen.
Carrie and Cree were in there with you too in that room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scott and I mainly stayed out in the midway,
Our room was
entertaining
like
folks.
Our room was the best one at the
fucking
whole house.
It
filthy.
was.
There was pumpkin shit everywhere,
People were
blood
slipping around.
everywhere.
I apologize to whoever had to clean that room.
Oh, we did it before we left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Not
We did.
completely.
Not
but
completely, but we
We
did a
picked
decent
up
clean.
all the easily
Garbage.
grabbable
yeah.
garbage. We
like
did do that.
fucking 30 pumpkins.
But I think
Ripped open.
that is the stickiest walk of shame I ever had to do to leave the hunt ever in my life.
Yes.
If y'all want to see pictures from that, there's a bunch of those posted. But talking about a sticky walk of shame leaving a haunt, there's a great picture of Steven and Destiny in a car.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yes.
like their clean ass car, and they're like completely
Covered.
like
Yes.
leaving murder scene.
And he's just
Ste-
like, ah.
He's
Just
grinning
like,
manically. She's like,
hard pass.
Dude, look, Smiley, if I find a place that have a Hellraiser room, I will play Pinhead. That was one of my favorite characters and one of my first characters I ever played in a haunt.
Yes, Pinhead is awesome.
That was at
Bo
the,
says he's glad he missed
God,
that
it
one.
was so nasty.
that was the old Arx Mortis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back before it was Arx Mortis.
That's before that. Yeah. What was it called?
It was called Terror in the Isles. It was Uncle Charlie's Flea Market
Oh,
back
Charlie's
in
Flea
those days.
Market. That's right.
Now, on Halloween night itself, we were out at City of Chaos.
Yeah.
Another great show. Got to
And a whole
play
bunch of
and-
hellbillies came to join us. Because, of course, at Rotten Night, Tommy came out to join us too. And lots of other folks from
Chrissy
City of
and them
Chaos. The
came
Haynes
the
were there.
Haynes family.
And then
Zach and
again
Kylie.
on Halloween night, the Hellbillies came and played with us out at City of Chaos.
Yeah. What an October, guys.
What
No
a fucking
kidding.
October.
What an
Everything
October.
just
Hell of a
packed
time.
in there. That was like 4 Octobers in one.
Yeah, but that's not the end of it. That was just the end of
No.
October. We still have 2 more weekends to talk about.
What?
Didn't I
Yeah.
first meet you at Ryan?
We did not sleep, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
We had to stock up on the
I
sleeps.
think I
Yeah.
met
Yeah.
you last year, didn't I?
Try to.
We're still trying to recover on the sleep.
Everything is off.
If you guys,
trying to rush to
we
leave.
talked a little bit more about some of the haunts. We try not to give too much away during the season, but if you want to hear more about them, pretty much every night or every morning we did release the podcast
Yes.
and we talked about those and
Yes,
had
we
reviews.
did.
And,
That was fun as shit.
It was a thing.
But
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It happened.
We did it. Yeah.
So November
Here we
4th,
are.
we came a long way.
these four went up to Malice in Lewisburg, Tennessee. And that was our first visit to see them, and we will definitely be doing that again.
Yes, we will.
We got to see OC Spike and Chuckles the Clown
Yep.
there.
We did.
It was
We'll be doing some work with them next
Yes,
season also.
yes,
So
for sure.
Man, they put on a fucking hell of a show and have a hell of a haunt. So integral, so beautiful. Are you reading Kitty's?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna wait till we were done with this and then we can go back and
All right.
address
we're,
her question.
We're gonna do that. So yeah, that was Malice, and then the next night
Screamville.
these four swapping up the group some. We went up to Screamville in Knoxville, Tennessee, and got to go see our Bigs.
Our Bigs!
Yeah, we got to see
Yes.
Biggs.
Got
we
to
saw,
meet Doug Cox there,
Yeah.
and a
and a
few
couple other
folks.
people.
Did you
A
say
guy
duck
from
Duck hunt.
Nashville
I
Nightmare.
I don't support duck hunting.
A guy from Nashville Nightmare was out there
Yes,
working in the Midway,
yes.
and he knew us and recently friended us now because
awesome.
we saw him at Netherworld, and he was like, "Oh, I was the guy out there with the skulls hanging from him that had the pumpkin skulls that first came up to us when we first got there and
Yes.
was like, hey, Rotten,' and we're
What,
like,
the
oh,
nuts?
yes,
Oh, he had the nuts.
yes."
Yes.
Oh yeah, the man with the nuts.
The man with the
They were
nuts.
glowing nuts.
God damn,
Don't they all
Screamville
know?
was awesome, and their fucking like carnival games area is so their Midway of Malice.
Oh, we
is
got to
bad
play
as fuck.
some.
Yes, they
Yes.
ended up letting us go over there and play some stuff.
We did ring toss on
I've got
the
video
dead
of
boner.
that as well. On
The dead boner?
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
dead guy's boner. We ring tossed the boner.
Yeah.
Although
It's not the first time you have.
the Plinko with the decapitated heads, though,
That was
Yeah,
fucking
that was
fun.
my
awesome. Yeah, I
Yes.
can't wait to get up there sometime when the Midway of Malice is actually
Yeah, so
in
we can
full
throw rings at
operation.
the vampires boner
Boner some more.
while
Yeah.
people are standing around, and we can make it really awkward.
So,
So-
I'm really excited because I only knew about one cock ring toss, and there apparently is another one.
There is.
And that the other one you're talking about is fun too.
It is fun too, and
It
it's
is.
coming to town here pretty soon.
Oh, the
oh,
cock ring's
right.
coming to town.
Yes.
I would gladly be the judge of that.
You would enjoy.
You would enjoy
Yes.
the
Very
shit out
much
of him.
enjoy that
Yes,
show.
you would.
You can tell everyone
Yes.
what you're talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
Might as well plug them.
Yes.
Scarlet Storm is will be in Birmingham soon for Clussy Fever. With,
Yes.
she's
Violet
touring with Violet and Whitey Alabaster, and that's a really super fun show.
Yes,
It
it
Yes,
is.
they are
It is.
such
We've been
talented
to a
people.
couple of their shows
The
now.
last show we were at, Kitty had joined us for that
Katie
too.
was there. Yes, shout out to Scarlet
So,
Storm.
how do y'all want to discuss this weekend? Do we
We
want to
love
go to
you.
him first, or go ahead and knock our experiences out first, and then let him discuss the legendary haunt tour?
Well, let's start
like
with
both.
Miller's Thrillers, because we can all talk about Miller's Thrillers, and that was the first one you went to.
Mm-hmm.
Miller's Thrillers fucking blew
What
me
the-
away.
Now we all got to go to Miller's.
Every one of
Thrillers.
us.
Yep.
Scott.
Almost
was
as Iniquities
there-
would sponsor this.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice. But yes, Scott was there first. We got stuck in a lot of traffic. If you tuned in for any of that live, you know we were stuck in a lot of traffic. So Scott was already gone by the time we got
that
there,
was-
which is understandable.
A few minutes. I had passed a few minutes. Yeah. I had to make sure I was on the bus.
But Miller's Thrillers was absolutely
Like, I'm
phenomenal.
still seeing Miller's Thrillers in, like, different, because, dude, and the guy
Wow.
from Doomsday, Eric, built a
Yes.
lot of that stuff.
Yes.
And
We got to
holy
see him out there too.
God,
We got
that
to
was
run into
bad as
him and
fuck.
Hannah,
Yep.
and
and a couple other folks.
a couple other Doomsday folks. Yeah,
But, dude, such a
so
fucking
They've got a
crazy
pirate
movie.
ship in the middle of the woods.
I know, and it was
It was so
great.
good.
I
Stand by.
fucking love pirate
The
stuff.
best pirate scene we saw in any haunt this year Me personally, the best like twisty maze, the black and white flashing light.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
The biggest vortex tunnel I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah, that twisty maze checker room, I loved it so
it fucked
hard.
my shit up so bad. Dude. It seemed like it was moving, and dude,
I thought that was a great opportunity for a
Mr.
video.
Smiley said he helped build some stuff out there too.
That's badass, dude. Miller's Thrillers was fucking amazing.
Yes, it was.
So a couple of things about Miller's Thrillers, and I'll talk about the Legendary Haunt Tour and kind of how that went down. So we all they bus us out there. It's 3 buses. It's just a ton of haunters and everything. And I was telling the guy that runs the tour, I was like, man, this sucks, because can you imagine going through your whole season, right, having these badass seasons that all these haunts had, and then they're like, hey, you guys have been selected as part of Legendary Haunt Tour. So you guys get to entertain the worst fucking crowd ever of people going, you did a good job, buddy.
Oh,
This scene's really neat, pal. Like, we're all that way. But it was like you know,
your whole crowd are the people that go to haunts not to be scared of haunts, but to like check it out. So everybody's like,
neat.
Wow.
We got there. They had where the concessions booth is. They had that lined out with a barbecue place from Nashville that was phenomenal food. So we all sat and ate. And when we sat and ate, they did their pre-show. And their pre-show, there's a big church that they had gotten. It was a Netherworld set. If you remember the old location,
yes,
that big church. So they had gotten that, and they put half of it on a truck. And so fireworks go off. The house splits in half like this. And behind it are trampolines. And they've got 3 jumpers, and they do this jump thing.
oh, that's awesome.
Then on the main stage, they've got Undead Beats. Like
we got to see the skeleton drummers. That was bad as fuck.
So after we finished eating and everything, we went on their paintball ride. Which, guys, I've never been that's never been the thing I go to do. Right? We did it at City of Chaos, and we had fun doing it. But it's never really the thing I go to do. This was the best paintball hayride I've ever seen. What they do is they have a truck, and they have a trailer. So on the truck, it's loaded with guns, and the trailer's loaded with guns. And they pull you off, and they're like, don't shoot, don't shoot. They gave us extra paintballs because we're part of the tour. But then they go through like a Western scene. The way that their zombies are, that you're shooting, the zombies would come up to you like the hayride at Haunted Chicken House. They would almost jump on there, and you had to pellet them off.
That's awesome.
They had target areas where you're trying to hit the targets.
Oh, nice.
Then they had 2 big statues of maybe current or past presidents that you could fire at if you needed to do that. And we kept passing the vortex tunnel, and I was like, are we going to go through that big-ass vortex tunnel? We didn't do that, but there was a really cool scene. It was the only IP I saw in the whole place. You drive under this area, and they're like, oh, we're going up to the guard shack. And then you see the guard in the guard shack, and he's super dead. And they're like, oh, looks like he's been dead for months. Nobody checked on him. And as we get through there, you hear this iconic music, and then right behind the thing, Michael Myers appears.
Nice.
So it's the
awesome.
one IP, but you can't shoot him because your guns don't turn behind you. So he's the one guy that's safe. But there's a part of the trail. There's 2 parts of the trail that you walk through that cross over that paintball area, and it's just timed right. When you do the school bus crossing the Connex, you're crossing over where the hayride goes through.
Oh, that's awesome.
And when you went through the old Western town, when I went through there, I saw a couple of the zombies that were covered in paintballs would pop out, because on the other side of that is the Western town from the paintball.
Oh, nice.
area.
That's fucking smart.
That's awesome.
And there was also an area with zoo animals, and that was really neat. So you could shoot a giraffe in the face, like. And I don't know how they got the smell, but it smelled like that.
It's probably the same place that smelled like that before.
All right, we're going to take a quick break.
And finish out with our next one.
Don't go that way, man. You know who's back there? It's that serial killer from that movie.
What? Why are they here? I I thought they were supposed to be chasing the kids at summer camp or invading the nightmares of the kids on that one street.
Well, they're all here. Brought in to fight off the mutant chickens, and now it's a horror free-for-all.
Oh, where do I buy tickets?
The Haunted Chicken House in Heflin is the largest tourist attraction in East Alabama.
Open every weekend in October. Tickets are $15 per attraction. 2 for $25 and 3 for $40.
Ride the hayride of horrors.
Visit the Haunted Chicken House.
Defy death in the infamous Crazy Train.
For more information, check us out on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and thehauntedchickenhouse.com. And we'll see you there. And we're back.
We're back.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Guys, we're back.
Oh, yay!
I did, where we left off, I did want to mention this one thing. They, as part of the paintball, we got to this area, they make this announcement. They're like, oh, our zombies do this and this. One part, they were like, we're about to go to our metal zombies. And these guys live off of only Monster Energy drinks and Taco Bell and heavy metal. And I was like, what?
That's you!
Kindred spirits.
But they're like in a barn. And you've got one that's coming to you on a swing. So, like, he jumps out on a swing, and you're just, like, pelting him right in the nutsack the whole time. And then you've got these other two that are coming and hitting. But, like, a paintball gun in a barn, you're getting pelted.
Yeah.
Like, it's splattering back on you, and that is rad.
That is perfect.
Yes.
And then you get to this other part, and they're like, some of our zombies have even learned to dance, and there's like a girl, and she's like on stage, like looking around, like what's happening, and then there's like 6 other girls that come out, and they all have this huge choreographed, not thriller, but like the zombies around one person kind of dance, and they're all attacking her, and then it goes dark, and you've got the people jumping the trampolines.
Holy
From the
shit.
opening show, they're doing that. It comes back up, all of them are dancing again, and then she's scared, and they all like go on her and eat
That's
her.
Oh, that's nice.
And like, it's a full dance team.
Holy shit.
And I was like, it's so wild, because you think about like the haunts in our area, Friday night would kill that.
Yeah.
You know, because your dance team is and these are like high school girls, like, you know. But how do you do that? You know, during football season, you get your dance team or your cheerleading squad, because that's the level that these guys were. Like,
Yeah.
it was well choreographed. Super, super fun. But that was Miller's Thrillers, and if you guys get the chance to go out, highly recommend that.
Definitely.
Also, for you two, did it feel like when you were going through the trail, did it feel like that Ruby Falls experience that we had?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Because of the
with all the
rocks
caves.
and- oh
Yes.
my God,
Yes.
dude. There was, we did Ruby Falls, which they didn't have this year, but
That I
like,
had for a few years now.
It was like in the
Yeah.
trees, and it was so
Like
fucking
the
beautiful.
actual rock
the
formations
want
and
stuff.
to
Yeah, I love
explore
that.
and climb
I love
stuff
that.
was so big.
There,
hard.
there was this one area where you would crawl through this thing, and then when you would pop up, you're face to face with something. There was a big scarecrow head at one
Yeah.
time, and then another part I climbed through, and there's like a tree, and I'm looking like skeleton. But if you looked up the tree, it's a giant pumpkin,
Yeah.
like, dude.
That's
like,
one of our favorite scenes there, too, like coming into that scene.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the next
No,
haunt
it's
we went
goats.
to?
So we left there, and we went to Devil's Dungeon, and Devil's Dungeon was really neat. That haunt itself has such a wild story. Above Devil's Dungeon, it's a 2-story building, and the top story is 20 apartments. And they're not haunters that live up there. It's just people who live up there that are like musicians and artists and stuff, and they have these balconies. So while you're waiting outside, they'll be out there like making fun of you, and like they'll throw candy or beads sometimes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So like they know during October for 2 nights, you know, the weekend, that this is what's happening at their house.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like,
Yes. Yes, I
Oh.
can imagine that.
I guess I asked the wrong
I
crowd.
can totally imagine that.
It's like a little mini Mardi Gras.
Yeah, it's a
I
blast.
can't wait to see it.
And then there's like a big animatronics outside, and like I was saying before, the guys from Malice, obviously Spike and them came out and were just working the shit out of that crowd.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, and I believe Hiccup was there
Hiccup
also.
Webb.
Hiccup was
Yeah.
on the tour.
Yes.
Yeah, he was on the tour with us. I actually got to spend last night we rode the bus back together and we had a big long
Fuck yeah,
conversation.
that's awesome.
That's
That's
awesome.
badass.
He was the one that thought you might have been taller. But yeah, so Devil's Dungeon, you walk into a church, and there's the preacher up there, it's a satanic church, and
Perfect.
the preacher up there behind him is the darkness from Legend.
Like the big horns.
Yeah,
and
and but he's wearing like a big pentagram and stuff. Like that's their Baphomet. Like that's their thing. And so then you go through hell, and then you go through all the different parts. Well, then you go through like a hillbilly kind of area, which they did really well. It was where I got my scare in there that night because somebody was behind a refrigerator in the perfect spot to pop out and get me. And I was like, I just want to shake your hand. Thank you so much. They did a red laser lake, and you were wearing 3D glasses, and that experience was wild as shit. I've never seen a red laser lake wearing 3D glasses. So you put 3D glasses on. Did y'all do that at Warehouse 31?
Yes.
Did they make y'all do that?
Yes.
So this was the longest 3D clown area I have ever seen ever.
Oh, wow.
And it did so well because the colors are pulling off of everything and sliding over, and like it was just gorgeous, which is weird that I'm talking about this clown room at Devil's Dungeon, but like halfway through the haunts that they had one of the most terrifying, ultimately frustrating, Scooby-Doo rooms. It's 8 doors. It's a square room. There's 8 doors. They're identical. There's no other marks in that room, and none of the doors will like open up and walk to another door. They all open up and go through a long maze and then pop out another door.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
And you have no way of knowing which ones you've been through already.
No, because they're all identical in
Wow.
every
That
way.
would take like a lot of planning.
I
fucking love it.
It was so well done, and luckily I got out of it before the fun ended for me, because that's kind of how I am. Yeah, and then the last part of that, you go through Euphoria part where there's like you still got the glasses on, and there's like it's like you're tripping. There's like flowers and like mushrooms and like
awesome.
all of these things. And there's this, you know how the Haunted Chicken
I love
House does
mushrooms.
the polka dot room?
Mm-hmm.
They did the same scare but with flowers, and there's somebody in white with covered in flowers.
Oh, that's
and they
cool.
popped out and got a
That's
little scare
awesome.
there. So yeah, that was Devil's Dungeon, and it was pretty rad.
So the next night after that, we all got together except for Graham.
Well, do we
wasn't
want to
able
finish up?
That was that night. So the next night we hit the Netherworld.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Graham didn't get to go with us, but we went to Netherworld. We 4 went to Netherworld.
Yeah.
And Carrie
In
was
Atlanta,
there.
Georgia.
And Ella is what she goes by.
Yeah, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth was there. That was fucking awesome. We had a great time there. They're always like just extensive as fuck. That place is extensive as fuck.
Oh my
It
god.
was my first time going, and all I could think about was like the labyrinth mixed with never-ending story but dark version.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I was obsessed with everything, especially every single Demogorgon I saw because I'm a gigantic Stranger Things fan.
Yeah.
I was watching all and keeping up with all the lives and everything, and I've been there before, but it is beautiful. I do wish I would have went, but at the same time, I had so much other things to do.
Yeah.
So.
That I wish we had 2. There was one room in the second house where there's 2 corpses and there's just mushrooms
yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
Mushrooms
And
going
I know.
on.
I told you about that, and I was like, I knew when all of you guys saw it, you guys were
We
like,
immediately was like, oh god, Grim would love this.
And
Yeah.
they had like that one mushroom that has the fangs on it. That
Yeah.
was like that was badass too.
yeah. So I had taken the girls, and like I said, it's not a scary haunt.
Yeah.
It's a
You say
museum
that,
haunt.
but God, man, how
The
we got
actors
so
were
many
on
scares
point
when
when we were going
There
through.
were like
yes.
50 or 60
Like every
actors in
time,
there, and we were getting hit left
your
and
attention
right.
is diverted by an animatronic, there's an actor right there.
What do you mean every time your attention is diverted by
time.
animatronic? Your attention is
Every
diverted by animatronic
time.
every second.
I
Yeah.
know, exactly. The
Oh.
actors were completely on point.
And for some of
Every
them,
bit of
was
it.
really hard to tell animatronic from actor.
That's
for
true.
Yeah,
a
it
lot of
was.
shit.
They had this one animatronic that I hadn't seen anywhere that looked like a pile of clothes with 3 hats, like leaning up against a chair, just a pile of clothes, and it comes out with arms, and the middle hat pops up, so it transforms into this creature, but then it goes back to looking just like a pile of clothes.
I don't know
I've
that.
never seen that. It was awesome.
It was great.
That's not registering. I might have been checking.
Well,
I'm sorry.
there's so much.
But there's
stuff
so
to
much
see
to
there.
see, and it's not. It's
We
not
could go
that there's
through
like
10
stuff
times
right
in a
here
row and
that's
still
to see.
miss
It's
so
stuff
much.
up there.
Yeah,
like there's
and,
that one
like,
room with
stuff
all
on
the
every
demons.
wall. and-
Yeah,
Oh,
the room with all the
yes.
big demons. You're like, I'm looking at big demons. There's detail down here. I will never see this.
Yeah, but it was awesome. It was awesome.
I don't want it to get more detailed.
Yeah, no shit.
I like this is.
I said the same thing.
I
Like,
want to go
love-
through one of the lights on tours.
I love
honestly.
Netherworld. I love Netherworld
Yes.
to death. But there are no stopping points.
There's no
in that
breather.
haunt.
Yeah.
And I like those draw out breathers that you go from one point to another. And that's the only thing you miss.
Especially
at Netherworld
getting
is the ability to breathe.
Especially when they are getting the scares. I want that second to regulate myself and get back to being ready for the next scare.
Yeah.
And that goes into the like 2 different haunt philosophies of one, get somebody's like blood going, and then it's maintenance after that, right? But I think for us, and we've talked about this a lot, we prefer a roller coaster of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
big
Up
scares,
and down,
and then
and
calm
up
down,
and
make me
down.
laugh, entertain
Yes.
me, distract me with something silly, and
Give
then
me
scare the
another
crap
big
out
scare,
of me.
yes.
Right? Because
Yes.
if you're maintaining, it's hard to go up.
Yes.
Right, but if you're down here, it's easy to get back up there. But that's just two different
And we
mentalities.
love all of it, really.
Absolutely, yeah. I will definitely be returning to Netherworld. You know, was House of Creeps open when you guys were there?
No, we didn't get to go through the museum.
It was
They were-
closed
well,
when we were there. for
It was
construction.
open but closing by the time we came
And
out
we
of the
had a lot of people to talk to because the
Yeah.
Arcs crew was there and the
yeah.
Screamville crew was there.
Yes.
So,
Dustin-
funny story about Screamville being there is they were getting their picture taken.
right as we were
And
going
there was
in.
like 30 people in there. And we were starting to bunch up in a little crowd before them. And I'm waiting, and they're trying to get the picture, and I'm waiting. And finally, they're like, all right, we got it. And I was like, oh my God. Hey, everybody, that's
Is that
fucking
Screamville?
Screamville from Columbia, Tennessee.
No,
or
Knoxville.
From Knoxville, Tennessee. That fucking haunt is bad as shit. And everybody's like, why is everybody screaming about Screamville? I was like, that's Screamville, man. That's the haunt from Tennessee.
Or
Y'all
no,
gotta
there
go
was
check them
there
out."
was this couple. This 2 females were right in front of us, and they turned around. And it was like, "You're really excited about Knoxville for some reason." And he
I was
goes,
like,
"No, that's
Screamville.
Screamville. That's
It was
another
so
haunt."
awesome. And then we're walking
Was
through.
Biggs?
No, Biggs wasn't
No,
there.
Biggs didn't.
But then we were walking through, and Doug happened to hit a corridor where he could see us over here,
and
he
we're
was
going
like,
through a different one.
"Run, that's Ron Reviews!"
It was funny.
That's awesome.
So your last night of the haunt.
Legendary
let me-
haunt tour.
Let me say this one thing before we get off of it. Destiny and Steven had gone out there.
Yes.
And he took one of the coolest pictures from the whole entire haunt
I
season.
saw that.
And
Yes.
it's like the moon is coming through the clouds
Oh,
and
yes.
the dragon and
saw
like
that.
it was just a gorgeous picture.
Great
Yeah, so
picture.
the second night of the Legendary Haunt Tour, we jump on a bus and we go to
Did you go to
Slaughterhouse first, yeah. And Slaughterhouse is neat. That location is a tattoo parlor and theater. So it's the CinemaCon or
Oh, that's
Cinema-
awesome.
I have never been to the current location of Slaughterhouse. I don't remember exactly when they reopened Slaughterhouse, but it's been more recent, since way past when I still lived in Nashville. But when I was growing up in Nashville, my favorite haunt to go to every year was the KDF Slaughterhouse.
Yep, and I went to KDF Slaughterhouse back in the day.
Back before we ever met.
I don't know what KDF stands for.
It was
KDF
a
was the radio station.
Oh, cool.
It was the rock and roll station.
It was
out
a
there.
Nashville radio station that could still be picked up in all of North Alabama, all the way down to Huntsville, basically. And but they were the ones that put on Slaughterhouse for many years back when I was growing up.
So Full Moon.
That and the haunted
This
prison
whole
were the
fucking
two I
time.
remember the best from growing up. So.
Full Moon presents this, so the Full Moon tattoo color and all of that. That's all.
That's awesome.
That's all
Oh, I
these
thought you were
guys.
going to say Full Moon is like Radu Puppet Masters.
I don't know that it's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I would have seen more posters of that if I had.
True.
But also that was 150 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have sworn we were talking about Full Moon Barbecue for a minute, and I was thinking like, why are we getting on food?
Because you're hungry.
Because hungry.
Yeah,
But-
we got to wrap this up soon. I'm hungry too.
So we
I can't believe it.
that haunt
You do people things? Wow.
Sometimes.
It's very rare.
that haunt was really good.
I do people and
it,
things.
It felt full moony, actually, like full moon kind of presentation, and going through there's a witch doctor who like lets you in, and then there's a tarot reader, and then you get into the different parts. They had they had one of the coolest things I've ever seen. They had a pirate room, and in the pirate room there's a tank, and it's blue light in the tank, and they have this girl in there doing a Grammy movie, right? And she's a siren, and and I was like, and I don't know if there's like air that like does her hair like kind of flow. It looks like she's in a tank of water.
That's awesome.
And that's her thing all night, is just doing that. And she'll hit the thing, and like they're like, oh, did you ask the siren for secrets? And then you walk out of that and you go into their Scooby-Doo room.
Scooby-Doo room.
Guys, I was in the fucking room for a very long time. I was in that room for so long. Eventually, she's like, did y'all try the stairs? And I was like, God damn it, I didn't know you could go up the stairs. So I went up the stairs, came back down the stairs, I'm in the same fucking room.
Yeah, jackass.
And then she's like, and then like the group I'm with were just haunt enthusiasts, and the girl was like, all right guys, just go through there. And she opens the door and it's a brick wall, and she's like,
just kidding.
She's like, you just gotta tap on it the right way and it'll open. And so the girl taps on it, and she goes, you look so stupid.
I love
They
that.
fucked with us so hard.
love that.
And then eventually I was like, okay, so when the fun is gone, like, how do I get out? She goes, you just ask me. And I was like, let me out. She goes over to a door panel, pulls this thing open, click, 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 and this door slides. I was like, so
is
then
great.
there's this other really, really fun section. So you walk around this corner, and then you get to this area, and there's this well-lit clown area, right? And there's like doors in there. I was like, oh, God damn it, Scooby-Doo room. So I go in there, I'm trying all these fucking doors and everything, and she's just like having a blast with us. And then I was like, wait a minute, why did we even come in here? I went back out of that room and the hallway just continues. Like, it's an optional Scooby-Doo room. Like,
Oh, that's great.
I was like, why is this mother? Finish when you finish through that haunt, and it's fun. I had a good time. When you finish that haunt, they're waiting. They're like, hey, they gave us free bags of popcorn. They said to go in the movie theater, and they have a full movie theater where they do food and everything. So there's tables and stuff.
Oh, that's
Evil Dead
awesome.
2's playing on the movie.
That's awesome.
So it's a cool way to do a movie. It's a cool way to have
Yeah.
a waiting area, waiting for your friends to get out in lieu of a midway.
He said you didn't mention the first guy you meet is a guy with real snakes.
Oh, that's true. Let me tell y'all this stupid ass story. This is so stupid. There's this guy that I had met, and Everett talked to him too. He was there for business. Like he's pitching. He does ticket sales. He does not do haunts, right? So this has been an eye opening, because I think he's like new with the companies from like Denver, Colorado, whatever. So the first lady, she's like, when you meet the Reverend, don't pet his son. Right? I'm like, okay, whatever. And so when you meet the Reverend, he's sitting there, he's got a snake. All right? And it's like, don't pet him. Obviously, don't pet the live snake. But he'll put the snake on your face. And all
Oh,
that.
wow.
So we're on the bus ride back. This guy's like, that was a real snake. That guy had a real snake. He goes, it went in my mouth. He goes, oh yeah, I see him, he's got like this fake snake, whatever, and he's like putting it on his face, and I go, wow. And when I did that, the snake went right in my mouth.
Wow.
he's like, I gotta have some therapy. The whole bus is just dying, and this guy's just like beat red, like, it went in my mouth. It went in my mouth.
That's fucking hilarious.
That's awesome.
Oh, super fun. So we left there, and then we go to Nashville Nightmare.
Yeah.
Nashville Nightmare, we get there, they've got Hattie B's Nashville hot chicken.
Yeah.
They've got 3 different like sauces and stuff. And then they also had this thing, it's called an open bar. Which is a terrible thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
So they've got beer.
Tell me more.
However much beer you want to drink, and they're the what is it, Smoky Mountain Moonshine.
Yeah.
So you got shots of that, and they're having you sample that. Then there's also axe throwing, and I was like, don't have open bar and axe throwing. This is awesome.
I mean, it sounds fun.
They give you drinks and an activity.
Yeah.
It is the staple of the southern states.
Here's the one thing they didn't have that we were all very confused on. They didn't have Nashville Nightmare. We're just in an axe throwing place and we're eating, and we're like, where's the fucking entrance? Where's the facade? Like, what the fuck is going on? So after we get through eating, a clown comes and gets you and walks you around the building, and then you see the facade. And
Okay, I was
everything.
gonna say, I was like, I know I've seen
Yeah.
the photos, so
They wanted to put on a great show, so they only had certain sections open.
okay.
And then they opened more throughout the night, right? And they would close one section to get those actors to go and fill those sections, which was a neat way to do it when you
Yeah.
have a group like this.
Yeah.
But while you're waiting, inside the midway, they also have open bars. The whole night
Wow.
is just shots.
How much was tickets for this?
It was like $500, I think.
For the legendary haunt tour to go to
Yeah.
all the haunts
That
and
is
do all of
completely
that
worth
stuff.
Yeah.
I might do that next year.
The one of the coolest, they had 4 haunts. They had an optional 5th one, which was a kind of a clown escape room, which was, I would say, is also optional. Just you go through a lot of tents, and it's kind of a trail, and there's a few clowns in there. It was neat. It wasn't their main draw. Their main draw was their 4, and the one that impressed me the most was the schoolhouse. It was all haunted schoolhouse,
Nice.
and I loved how it was set up. You guys remember seeing the scare zone, the vintage scare zone from Halloween Horror Nights when I was walking through there?
Mhm.
It was like that.
That's awesome.
You see what Bo said real quick? Right here. At the top.
Yeah.
Can I go eat with you? Just kidding. Not coming.
You didn't get an invite that time. Open invite too, you know.
And Doug says next year we need to travel to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go see them at Mar Branch.
Yeah.
Dude, Mar Branch's commercials are fucking hilarious.
The schoolhouse, as you're walking along, you're seeing signs for Halloween costume contest. And in one room you get, and there's a big stage, and they're doing the Halloween costume
that's
contest with all the
badass.
little kids, and they're all like mutated, and like
that's badass.
the teachers are all mutated. There's like old desks. They had an infinity mirror that was so far back that they had a whole school desk in it. So there's an infinite hallway of school desks.
Oh,
like
wow.
this.
That's awesome.
I've never seen one that was
Yeah.
that far back. So the first 2 were cool, and then the next one was they had a pirate scene and all of those things. Really cool. Of course, Nashville Nightmare has a big budget. It's a very big budget haunt. And they had a lot of stuff in the midway to do and see, merch, all that stuff. And then I got out about 8:30. The last show, the Mortuary, wasn't going to open till 9:30, so open bars. But there was a guy who saw me in the hat, and he goes, "Hey, how you like that Leslie Vernon mask?" And it's the guys from Von Grimm that did the mask. So
That's awesome.
So they like go recognize us, and they also recognize me for buying that mask, and I was super happy. And so we got
Another
talking.
thing is like how many places we went to that people noticed us, and we were like, huh? the guy at
Netherworld,
Netherworld,
when we were going
we
in.
walk up and he
Netherworld.
was like, "Oh, look, some Alabama ninjas have arrived." We didn't say a fucking word.
The
to him.
Alabama people are so nice. They just need to keep sending us more people.
Yeah.
We will keep you and eat you.
Because we talked to him last year in line and did this whole talk about ninjas and shit, and he fucking remembered that shit. Yeah, that was weird.
That's cool.
Ghosties.
There's stuff being thrown at us from our
apparently,
shelves.
and I wish I could place it, but there was one of the clowns was saying "Stay rotten," and I wish I don't know that I got a picture.
There
of
was
it
a
or
few
anything.
different, and we actually talked to one of the guys from Nashville Nightmares. Had seen us at Screamville, was it? And he said, "Stay rotten," and then later on he was like, "Oh, y'all remember me? I was the clown in that room that was hollering about
Wait,
Stay
no.
Rotten."
It was the one we went to Friday night. Not
Miller's.
Screamville. Yes, he was at Miller's Thrillers.
Yeah, and he's
that's
Stay
where.
Rotten.
Yeah,
That's super fun. That's super
I
fun.
love the shit out of that.
So yeah, that was a really cool way to end the season.
Yeah.
Highly recommend checking that out.
And the
That's
season's
Transworld.
over.
And this season is over and preseason has begun.
yes, yes.
Christmas.
Christmas season is.
Well, guys,
here.
thank you all so much. We still got 11
Yeah, no
people
shit. We
who've
got to
been
get the hell
tuning
off this
in.
live. We got to go cook
we got food.
I'm hungry.
I don't know how long this live has been going, but it's several minutes. Not long now.
Several minutes.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make
Yes.
sure to subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already liked Facebook. Like
and thank
us
you
on
for
Facebook.
tuning into the podcast.
And keep an eye on us. We're not going anywhere.
Nope.
We've got all kinds of scary, stupid
we
shit
will
to do for you
continue
guys.
to be rotten. So
Forever.
For you guys in the podcast world, we love you.
Love you. Stay rotten.
Stay rotten.
Join us next time for another episode of Rotten Mornings.